Awesome, baby. Luyan. Mambo Kings.
Hola, hola. This is your boy Tico Trent, aka Internal Sadist. And this video is going to be about relationships and a woman's happiness, or women's happiness in a relationship. This one's going to be geared more towards men, and it's going to be brutally honest. So, my thoughts on happiness in a relationship, because I've always found that whole entire happy wife, happy life thing some bullshit, to be quite frankly honest, because I really don't give a damn about anybody's happiness, as long as, if I'm not happy in the least bit, if you know what I mean. I don't care about nobody else's happiness if I'm not happy, if you know what I mean. Or you shouldn't care about anybody else's happiness if you're not happy in the least bit. Here's the thing, when it comes to happiness, a lot of times in a relationship, if a man's unhappy, it's because she made it so that he's unhappy. That's just fucking facts. If a woman's unhappy in a relationship, that's totally hinged on her fucking self and her whole entire psychology and the psyche of her damn self, if you know what I mean. So, for a woman to be unhappy in a relationship, it's her fucking fault. For a man to be unhappy in a relationship, I would say about 60 to 80% of the time, it's the woman's fault that he's unhappy in a relationship. That's just fucking facts. But for a woman to be unhappy in a relationship, it basically stems from her decision-making, her poor decision-making in the relationship that actually got it to this point, if you know what I mean. That's typically how it works, or how she perceives something in a relationship versus how shit is actually going in a relationship. Like, a good example of that is a lot of women are blissfully ignorant in relationships, if you know what I mean. And they believe that, oh, well, he's happy because they're together and this, that, and the other. Just because you're happy, that don't mean he's happy, if you know what I mean. And men spend so much time trying to appease and make a woman happy in a relationship, when in fact, a woman should be making her own damn self happy in a relationship. If she's not happy, that's something that she needs to work on. Because you're not what you are not is a court gesture for the most part. Even if you came in because of your sense of humor, what you're not finna do is be a court gesture to this woman. That's just facts. A man should never subjugate himself to being a court gesture to a woman. So my thoughts on the whole entire thing is, if a woman is unhappy in a relationship, that's something that she needs to work on herself. It's kind of like the self-esteem argument. It's the esteem of her motherfucking self. So she needs to work on that. The same goes for happiness and a woman being unhappy. That's something that she needs to either go seek a therapist about, or maybe go talk to somebody else about, or, maybe talk to her husband about being unhappy and you sort it out. And y'all talk about her going to go to therapy to go sort it out, because 9 times out of 10, or 10 out of 10 times, or 9 times out of 10, if she's unhappy, it really has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with her psychologically. If she's unhappy, it has everything to do with her psychologically. And what the hell is going on with her psychologically usually gets passed down to the man, which then makes it an uncomfortable and uneasy feeling on the man, or uncomfortable relationship on the man, basically. Because now she's passing down her unhappiness and insecurities onto him, if you know what I mean. So now he's unhappy, and he's trying to figure out why he's unhappy and what's going on, and he's just in a slump. This is why a lot of men, literally, instead of going straight home from work, they'll go to the bar. Because they don't want to deal with... some of them don't know why they're doing that, but a lot of them know why they're doing it. They're doing it to basically not have to deal with your ass when they get home, for the most part. And that's just fucking facts. Because You're that annoying, you're that much of a fun sucker that they'd rather spend time at the bar right after work and then eventually come home from the bar. That's typically why most men spend time at the bar, unless they're alcoholics, which is kind of funny, because if like they weren't alcoholic in the beginning of a relationship and all of a sudden they become an alcoholic in a relationship, it's usually the woman's fault. Because she pretty much bought it. She bought all the stress and headache and heartache onto the man, basically, to pretty much put him in that situation or make that situation a thing. And that's typically the truth behind unhappiness. The problem with unhappiness is a woman has to deal with her happiness by herself. If she's unhappy, she's unhappy because she's unhappy. She's not unhappy because everybody else. She's unhappy because her next door neighbor has a nice car and she doesn't, or a nicer house and she doesn't, or somebody else on Instagram is going on trips and she's not. That's typically what a woman's happiness is based on, for the most part.